I truly was struggling to get out of bed in the morning. And I know a lot of people know exactly how that feels. Like you feel so completely overwhelmed with the entire day before you even put one foot on the ground. You just don't know how you're going to do it. But I had to find a way to cope with what I was dealing with. So I was in a work environment that was extremely toxic, and my job itself was really very confrontational. I was a hearing officer for employee misconduct for a large school district. So it was basically everything adults did that were horrible to each other or toward kids. And it was an absolute nightmare. And I had a little bit of an idea of what I was getting into when I took the job. I mean, I understood what the job was, but I had no idea the gamut of situations I would be dealing with and the intensity of the anger and hatred of the personalities and emotional feelings of the people that I would be in very close proximity to, disciplining and dealing with. So there was a lot of anger about the situation itself, about how the situation was handled. And then in telling the story to me, as I was the decision maker for the outcome, there was a lot that was coming my way. So I had to find a way to try to deal with all of this negativity and not let it completely engulf my life. And my ways in the past weren't working anymore. So I'm a compartmentalizer, and I would take the information that I had or the emotion I was feeling, and I'd say the reasoning aspect of this problem, and here's how I'm going to deal with it. And then I would stick it in a neat little box over here and not deal with it again until I absolutely had to. And that's how I got through my life as a teenager, as a young adult, as an adult, as a teacher, as a school administrator. That's how I dealt with things. But the capacity of the negative shit that was coming my way now was so fast and furious, there had to be a different way because I couldn't create that many compartments in one day in order to deal with it. So I actually talked to a friend who was under public fire for some situations, and I was like, how do you deal with all this negative emotion? Like, it's really starting to affect me. And she said, I just put up my shield. And when the negativity starts flying and the comments start flying, it just pating, 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 bounces right off. And then when I get back to a safe place, I'm by myself in my office, I'm home for the day, I let that shield down, I decompress, and I don't let it get into my basically realm of energy. So I tried that for a while, and it actually was pretty effective. But I felt in the long term that it wasn't really helping me process anything. And I was still being affected by all of this negative stuff. And I still, in a way, was compartmentalizing because I wasn't going to deal with it now, whatever did get through my shield. I was just burying it. I wasn't letting it go because I wasn't letting myself feel any of it. I was just pushing it down. So then when I went to my Vipassana meditation retreat, and I was forced for 12 hours a day for 10 days to dig into my subconscious, I started loosening all of this energy that was trapped throughout my whole body. And as I started loosening that energy, it all started upward to the surface and bubbling up and bubbling out. And boy, was I in trouble. I was starting to feel all of these negative emotions that I had blocked and fought so hard to keep away. But in the end, I learned how I needed to deal with those emotions and feelings. And through the practice of a meditation, I was able to loosen all of the caliche that had been building up and building together that was so strong. It was like taking a sledgehammer to it and breaking it up so it all could start to dissipate as it came to the surface, and I was able to deal with it. So that was the start of my journey, a journey that completely ended up transforming my life in ways I had no idea were possible. And I can't wait to share the rest of my story with you. I'm hoping that it helps you deal with some of the crap in your life that you've been suppressing or had a hard time dealing with. Therapy definitely would have helped me, and I did not reach out for any help from anyone else. I did all of this on my own, internally, working on myself, self-discovery, self-healing. That's definitely an option that I maybe should have taken and would have helped. So please don't disregard that as a possibility. But for me, thankfully, I was able to find some tools along the way through some amazing transformative self-help authors who have helped me with lots of their different practices, in addition to the meditation that I've learned to make a part of my own daily practice and journaling that I do every day. And it's really just helped me to come up with some practices that I have ingrained into my everyday life to help me deal with all of those stresses. I'm hoping that some of this can help you too. Thanks for joining me on my journey, and I look forward to sharing more with you.